All right, hey everyone, good Tuesday evening, and welcome back to Weather for Weather Geeks. Be sure and check out some redesigned pages. My weather blog has gotten a big-time redesign, ericwfmj.com. You can find editions of Weather for Weather Geeks there, blog posts. I've had a little bit of trouble importing all of my old blog posts from the previous version of the website over, missing a lot of images. Unfortunately, I think those images may be lost. I haven't been able to recover them, but nonetheless, I've got a brand new looking web page, ericwfmj.com, and our station page, wfmj.com, and of course that includes the mobile sites as well. If you check out our web page on a phone or a tablet, they've gotten a real big, nice redesign today. They look really, really nice. So check out all that good stuff here just after Labor Day. We've definitely given a refresh to some of our products, and on this first day back to work and school for many after a long holiday weekend, it was a warm one today, 82 this afternoon. And notice over the last couple of weeks, cool days have outnumbered warm days, that is for sure, but we've had 3 of the last 5 days as warmer than average. Average at this time of the year for a high temperature is 77 degrees. All right, the weather is quiet. It's been quiet all day. We've got a cold front heading our way. This doesn't look like it's going to be much, folks. As we go through the night tonight, shower and a thunderstorm in a couple of spots from southeastern Michigan down through western parts of Ohio. This highly disorganized cluster of showers and storms might dampen a few spots later on tonight, but I'm not looking for a whole lot of rain. Severe weather outlook for today, late today, and into tonight. There is a slight risk of severe weather from northwest Ohio through northern Indiana, southern parts of Michigan. But I think this probably is a little bit overplayed by the Storm Prediction Center. This doesn't look like it's going to end up being a real big severe weather outbreak or even a medium-sized severe weather outbreak. It just doesn't look like this wants to get its act together. Now, a gusty thunderstorm, especially in northwest Ohio, that's going to be a possibility for the next handful of hours. But again, I don't think it's going to be a whole lot once it reaches here. We've got that front north and west of us that is going to march through first thing tomorrow morning, and you'll notice the change tomorrow. The dew points will be dropping, and it'll be much more comfortable. All right, as we've been doing lately, let's talk about the hurricane. This is Dorian, which finally is moving. This is now finally north of Grand Bahama. It's almost due east of the Space Coast, or just east-southeast of Melbourne, Florida, or where the Kennedy Space Center is. The outer bands are lashing the I-95 corridor up and down eastern Florida, but the eye wall is not going to make landfall in Florida. Hurricane warnings are out from coastal waters of central Florida up through the Jacksonville area, Hilton Head, Savannah, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, up towards Wilmington, North Carolina as well, and it's a hurricane watch up into the Outer Banks. Lots of storm surge warnings in the same places, really, from coastal sections of central Florida up along the coast of Georgia, South Carolina, and southeast North Carolina as well. Now, this has undergone some weakening over the last 24 to 36 hours. A couple of things going on here. Dry air it's kind of infiltrating the core of the system and preventing that eye from becoming real well organized. Also, because this sat over the same spot for so long, upwelling is what we call it when colder water from underneath the ocean surface gets pulled up to the top of the layer of water, or the top of the ocean. That happens a lot of times when you have a very slow-moving or nearly stationary tropical system. It churns up that colder water from below up towards the top, and of course hurricanes don't like that colder water, so the fuel for the hurricane definitely is not as good as it was a couple of days ago. So this has done some weakening, but it's still a formidable storm with gusts to 130, pressure at 958. All right, latest track from the National Hurricane Center. This is not going to make landfall in Florida or Georgia, but a landfall is going to be a possibility really from anywhere from about Charleston up to Myrtle, up to Wilmington, up to the Outer Banks. Any of these spots are in the cone where the eye may come ashore, and they could see some gusts to at least hurricane force strength, or perhaps even higher. Here's a look at our in-house model. This is just one model, but you can see the progress of things here. If you've got friends or family that live in Charleston, Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, up to Wilmington, out to the Outer Banks, things really will deteriorate by Wednesday night and heading into Thursday morning. So by Wednesday night, Charleston's gusting to 50 or so, maybe 60 or so, very early Thursday morning. This is when the center may make a very close approach to Georgetown to Myrtle Beach to Wilmington during the midday and first part of the afternoon on Thursday. And then it again, our in-house model does not bring a landfall into those spots, but it's an awfully close call. Our in-house model does suggest a landfall occurs near Cape Lookout as we go into Thursday night and early Friday morning. So whether it makes landfall in some of these places or not, the impacts will be pretty similar. Storm surge, coastal flooding, perhaps some power outage problems with all that wind, and several inches of rain seeming pretty likely as well. Back here at home, again, stray shower or two overnight. Most of us won't even notice it. Tomorrow during the day, I think, we've called it variably cloudy tomorrow. Occasionally it's going to be pretty overcast, and occasionally it'll brighten up some. The bigger story tomorrow is going to be, hey, the dew points are going to drop. The temperatures will be much cooler than today. We'll stop at about 74 tomorrow afternoon. A sun-filled, gorgeous day on Thursday. This is a 5-star September day coming up on Thursday. Friday looks great as well. The cirrus deck from the hurricane is far enough to the east that we don't have to worry about that. Maybe we'll get a few cirrus clouds from the cold front off to our west, but otherwise, just a great day Friday. Great evening for high school football Friday evening. It's a dry pattern taking us out over the next week. Our models are suggesting here very, very little rain over the next 7 days. The GFS ensemble and the operational GFS say almost nothing occurs here over the next 7 days. The European, a little bit wetter as we go into the middle of next week, but either way, it's not much rain as we go through the next 7 days. Longer range thoughts here. Here's our hurricane depicted in the upper level view of things here. Once this gets off the playing field, the ridge of high pressure is going to build back across the southeastern U.S., the southern tier of states. It's really going to flex its muscles. This is going to be a hot-looking pattern for a lot of places, especially in the south. Next week, Atlanta, over to Nashville and Birmingham and Shreveport and Dallas and Oklahoma City. This is some pretty serious late summer heat. For us, we're on the northern fringes, but I think we've got some 80s in our future for next week. Probably not 90, but probably into the 80s, perhaps even mid-80s for a couple of days next week. So I'm not anticipating any sort of autumnal pattern sticking around. Sure, it's going to cool off and be very comfortable starting tomorrow, taking us through the weekend, but middle of next week does look pretty warm. This is going to be the last weather for Weather Geeks for a while. I've got some time off for the rest of this week. Actually, next week, I'll be attending the National Weather Association annual conference. Speaking of a hot location down in Huntsville, Alabama, northern parts of Alabama, it's going to be in the 90s there next week. So this is a gathering of academia and operational meteorologists from all over the country, including television meteorologists. And we talk about, hey, the state of the science and where it's going, and people present some case studies on interesting weather happenings over the last year. And it's a great opportunity to network and connect with other people in this crazy field of meteorology. So this will be the last Weather for Weather Geeks video for almost 2 weeks, because I'm gone all of next week. So thanks, as always, for watching these videos. Thanks for checking out my redesigned blog and also WFMJ.com. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night and look for an update from me tonight on 21 News at 11 o'clock. Hope to see you then.